I was thinking about this today because you guys were coming over. That one thing that unifies you guys both in my life is you both opened doors to music for me personally in different ways.
Mm.
You at the store, obviously, and you helped me pick records, and you started to realize what I was into and helped me figure it out.
You always try to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're open to my. I'm the type of person who I just like. I'm into this, and then
You're very,
suddenly like
you're like most of my customers. You're very enthusiastic.
yeah, but I'll completely shift and be like, now I want to listen to blues,
Yeah.
or now I want to listen to jazz, or
So
now I want to listen to
It's the same as food. You don't want to
Yeah.
eat the same meal every night. You
That
want to
is
mix
true.
it up. You want to mix it up.
exactly. But and then Paul he got you. I think you're probably the person who got me into Tom Waits, who now is
Really?
one of my favorite. You gave me a whole stack of CDs of Tom
Oh,
Waits.
did I really to borrow?
Yeah. No, they
pretty
were
wild.
they were
Pretty
burned. You gave them to me.
Oh,
They were-
I burned them.
yeah, yeah. And I listened to them. Tom Waits, and also Mark Mulcahy was the other one that
Oh,
you
yes.
told
I
me
love
about.
Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've thought of that because Valentine's. He used to play there
Yes.
pretty regularly.
Yep.
What a band, Miracle
Yeah.
Legion.
Yeah,
Are
they
you
were great.
kidding?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of cool how we can all, grab different kinds of music from each other.
That's one of the things that I feel like is more mainstream now, for lack of a better word, than when I was in high school. And when I was in high school and college, it was pretty much you get your style of music and that's what you stick to. But I think streaming has kind of opened the door to sort of, well, if I can listen, I'm paying to listen to anything.
Yep.
I want to listen to something else. I want to
No,
Well,
you're right.
like share your playlist. It's kind of instead of a mixtape, now you have your playlist. You put your playlist out there and share it on. Everybody wants to.
No, that's true. That part is pretty great.
That's
With me,
right.
the weird part is like, you used to have a certain amount of albums or CDs that you own, so you kind of
Yeah.
kept it to that. And now I kind of don't know what to listen to sometimes. But, I had, I was streaming yesterday and it said, yeah, try this. And I knew a lot of the artists because it sees what you listen to. And
Yeah.
but like what Jim was saying, I guess what we're all saying is, you listen to different things depending on your mood and stuff. And so it would throw like a country song and then like a standard song and then maybe actually had Tom Waits with the Replacements doing I'm Glad or something crazy, which I on one of those outtakes from one of the recent
That's why
re-releases.
That's why I
they did.
still completely enjoy doing radio, because I get to do that every week, play music for people and turn them on to stuff, and it is
That's awesome.
exciting. It's exciting. I've been doing it for 53 years, and I am not bored
Yeah.
at all. I can't wait
You
to
do it
do.
at the store too.
Well, the store's where I get a lot of great ideas from customers.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. They'll come in and say. The other day, somebody said, a friend said, maybe about 3 weeks ago, guy said, "You've got to hear this." This guy Doug just moved up here. He said, "You've got to listen to St. James and the Disciples." And I said, "Okay." And I went rammy for him. And then I got the CD and I played it for Artie. He just booked them at the hangar. They're incredible. If anybody is looking for a band that's completely unique, go see them. They're outrageous, but that's how it happens. I get people from all over the place that travel a lot and have different, and I like everything. So somebody might say, "Oh, you got to hear Christy Moore from Ireland," or you got to hear this Roy Eldridge album they just put. I mean, it's constant, and they're usually right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah. You gave me an Elvis Presley album. You sold me an Elvis Presley album. It's one of my
I had
favorites.
to. The rent was due.
No, it was.
Who's sorry now?
I think it was a lot of this. A lot of the albums I've bought from you are things you're playing, listening to, because I hear it and I'm like, that's really interesting. I think this one was one of them, and I didn't realize it was Elvis.
Oh,
And you said it was very early, and he was kind of trying to figure out what his sound was
the
going
Sun
to be.
recordings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they're incredible.
And I love
that's
it.
my favorite Elvis.
I listened to that a
Yeah,
lot. I
that's
love
great.
that album.
Raw,
Yeah.
rockabilly, right? Finding his way. That's the best
Yeah,
stuff.
because if you put that on, people won't immediately assume it's Elvis.
Not right away.
No, you got to
The
listen to it a
ballads,
little
the
bit.
ballads you do,
That's true.
but the rockers on there, man, he really cooked
Yeah,
on
that
that
was
early
great
stuff.
stuff. That
And
all that
Scotty
early.
Moore and what a band! Gee,
That's the kind of
a lot
stuff
of
that
great concert. Well, that whole rockabilly thing was. I have my favorites were two guys: Billy Lee Riley, who was on Sun,
Hmm.
and the other guy is Eddie Cochran. Those are my two favorites. But there's probably 50 great rockabilly artists that were just,
You also got me onto Ry Cooder for a while.
what a great
I
musician.
really like. Yeah.
What a player he is.
Yeah.
Oh, just gifted beyond gifted.
Yeah. It's one of the things it's hard to describe is when you get into a new musician. It's like one of the best feelings when somebody opens that door.
It's like cooking
And-
a brand new recipe.
Yeah, it is.
And
It's
it comes
like I've
out better than you
discovered-
thought, better than you thought.
Yeah, or a Vietnamese restaurant opens in your town. And you've never had Vietnamese food before.
Yep.
It's like, oh my, I've got whole new taste buds I get to use on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of different stuff. You're like, oh my gosh.
Well,
Like
our
you say,
band
Tom
is-
Waits. When I first heard some of that early '80s Tom Waits stuff, I was like, I couldn't believe that music existed. I'm like, where did this
Yeah.
come from? I go,
That's what it was. I took a film class and I watched a movie that Tom Waits was in, and I was like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
I like him. I like his voice.
Yeah.
And
I used
mentioned,
to-
and you said, oh, he's got all this stuff. You should listen to it.
I used to work at a place in the winter called One Way Records in Latham. It was the distributor who supplied all the songs. And my friend Fred Bernard, who at the time was doing Kaleidoscope with me, said, you want a job for the winter? Because I had kids. I said, sure. And I couldn't get unemployment because I owned the business. So I said, sure. So I worked over at the warehouse, and he came over on a Thursday. He goes, hey, would you like to make $75 tomorrow night? I go, yeah, what have I got to do? He goes, Bonnie Raitt's birthday at the Palace, and we have to keep an eye on Tom Waits. I go, Tom Waits, is that the guy that does old 55? He goes, yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. So I get down there at 5 o'clock, and they tell me and Freddie to keep an eye on him. We're going to go over to McGreevy's. Is that the name of it? McGarry's.
McGarry's. Yeah.
So we go over there, and he's got that crazy hat on. He was very nice, not a big person, pretty average size, but he goes in and he had that commanding presence. He had that persona. Jeez, everybody's buying him drinks. They're going, Tom, Rod, Tom, oh, and they're buying him, and he's bombed. And about 10 after 7. One of the guys runs over and he's yelling at me and Fred. He goes, come on. He's on at 8 o'clock for 40 minutes. You got to get him back there. Now he's laughing. He's dropping shots. In front of him looked like, it looked like a restaurant in front of him. There's bottles, and he drank it and they'd give him.
There's a picture of Tom Waits, Meryl Streep, and
Yeah, it's in my store
yeah,
from that movie.
right in front of
Yeah,
they're on
Ironweed.
River Street.
Ironweed.
Yeah.
Well, he proceeded to go back. We got him over to the Palace somehow, to the Proctors rather. No, Palace in Albany. Forgetting where I am. And we get him backstage, and he goes into his room and he says, I'll be right out. You hear all this coughing and hacking. Well, he was putting his makeup on a little bit. Then he comes out with his guitar and thanked us, and they tell us, get him to the stage. we walked out, and I swear to God, I couldn't believe it. He fell in the orchestra pit. And it was about 10 feet. And he hit the ladder going down. His exact words, I'll never forget, he goes, thank God I'm drunk. I wouldn't have made it. And he went out and did the most gorgeous set you could imagine.
Yeah.
But he was a peculiar.
He actually has a lyric about what we're talking about. It's a popular song, the Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
where
it's a nice song.
She's talking about if she had all the money, she'd buy a used car lot and drive a different car every day. Depending on, that's my favorite line in that song.
All
It's the
his
same
lines
type
are-
of thing. It's
He's
like
a great writer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's had some great stories,
my
especially the
favorite-
early songs were really
My favorite album is
story-like,
Nighthawks. I love Nighthawks.
Yeah. That's a great album.
a lot of people I know my age around Mule Variations is just an important album to them. It's just a.
Yeah, what is that about?
I,
I mean, I like it too, but
It's-
you're right though.
it's.
That's the most requested
I don't know.
one. I get asked all the
Yeah.
time.
There's a song called like This Old House or something like that on
that's
there.
right,
That's a
yeah.
great song. There was one that was, I think probably one of the songs was sung on The Walking Dead from that album. That might be why.
Yeah,
I don't know though. But
Gotcha.
probably.
it's just, it's one that we all seem to really like and connect with in a weird way.
Anything in film is going to have a carryover.
Yeah, that's true.